Yes, everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Happy Thursday. We're almost at the weekend, and Sheffield United are our next opponents. Chris Wilder's going to probably be rubbing his hands at West Ham, the prospect of playing West Ham at the moment. But we may see Jared Bowen back. We'll find out. Dave and West press conference will be tomorrow, and I'm sure that's going to be one of the questions asked by the journos. It's Hammers Headlines in association with the KUMB.com boys. Lunchtime today, I did my Rusty Rumour roundup. We're now approaching almost 60 names. And have we signed anyone? Let me just check. No. Still haven't signed anyone. But we've been linked with almost 3 Premier League squad loads of players. So there we go. And actually, this morning I spoke about the Turkish wonder kid, Samir Kilioksoy. That's probably how he's pronounced. Very 18-year-old, scored a hatful of goals already for Besiktas this season. And apparently we've been linked to him as well. Just another name to add to the list, to be fair. This is a rumour out free zone. Rumour in free zone. We'll call it that. Yeah. We'll talk about some outs, but we're going to talk about also some players who are also in the AFCONs. Obviously, Naya Faged, his Morocco side, he featured and played as Morocco beat. Is it they played Tanzania, wasn't it, yesterday? Tanzania 3-0. Yusuf Nesri scored the last goal. We haven't been linked to him yet. What's going on? Why haven't we been linked to Yusuf Nesri yet? They've played the full 90 minutes. And as the Moroccan side kept a clean sheet. And then they go top, don't they? Top of their group, I believe, in Group F. Yes, top, because Congo and Zambia played out a draw. Tonight, 8 o'clock UK time, could it be Mo Kudus versus Mo Salah as Ghana take on Egypt in what could be and should be the defining game in Group B in terms of the likelihood of who's going to qualify. Cape Verde play Mozambique as well. They've already got 3 points. Obviously, Ghana got no points. And we know that Mo obviously was out there and didn't feature in the last-minute loss to Cape Verde. And there was an assumption that he would play tonight, and apparently that does seem the case. Under fire, Ghana boss Chris Hughton, former West Ham player, as well as Spurs and Brighton manager and various others. He's made a mission about Mohamed Kudus that will infuriate West Ham fans, no doubt. Obviously, we've had in terms of here at home, we've had a glut of injuries to key stars, poor performances by those being brought in, and results. Obviously, knocked out of both cups in the last sort of 6 weeks, and obviously no progress of any of the signings we bought, potential signings. So it's not been a great January, and it's always the way, isn't it? When managers get nominated for the previous month, it's always the following month don't do too well. But I think out of all that, the biggest blow to us at the moment is basically Kudus being at the AFCONs. Yes, he has had an injury, so he might not have played anyway for West Ham, even if he wasn't at the AFCONs, but still. Now, we were put on, last night, Chris Hughton had his pre-match press conference ahead of the game against Egypt. And I think we're all fearing the worst in that he will probably be forced to play Mohamed Kudus tonight. I mean, as I said, he's missed the last 3 games after West Ham after meeting up with Ghana for the AFCONs. Although, others like Onana can still play against Man United, still play for Man United and fly. I don't know, it's all bizarre, wasn't it? And we know he's been recovering from a hamstring strain. But obviously, losing to Cape Verde in the sort of warm-up games. It was a 0-0 with Namibia as well. So there's a lot of angry Ghanaian fans out there. And apparently, Chris Hughton was allegedly attacked by a Ghanaian fan at the team hotel following the Cape Verde defeat. And he's very much under pressure, and people often make desperate decisions in those situations. And it does seem the decision will be made to play Mohamed Kudus tonight against Egypt. He told the press conference at the in Ivory Coast that it will leave it to the last possible moment to decide whether to select Kudus for the game or not. The fact you're leaving it for the last moment means there's a high chance that he shouldn't really be playing, because you're leaving it to the last possible moment. He has been pictured, and there's video clips out there of him training, and he's trained over the last few days. But as Chris Hughton said, we will assess him. And as I say, today and tomorrow, we make a decision tomorrow. Now, the Egyptian boss, Rui Vitória, hopes that he does play. And he said that, the best players should be playing in the tournaments. So he hopes that Mohamed Kudus does play. I think he hopes that he sort of breaks down, and then obviously they have to take him off. Many of us, assumed that Ghana were going to be one of the favourites for the AFCONs, but it can't be further from the truth. They're actually a shambles of a side at the moment. And as you saw with the 2-1 defeats to Cape Verde, without Kudus, they're half the side, a bit like us, in all honesty. And we could see, as I said, if Ghana lose, and we did a show about it 2 days ago, when we'd likely see Kudus back in terms of being available back at West Ham. He might still be injured, might have to recover from that injury. But it was, as I said, the last group game is the 22nd of January against Mozambique, and then based on the league position, if they have qualified, it will be the 27th, 28th for the next round of the last 16. But it does seem highly likely that he will be playing tonight, and so we'll all be watching telly and praying that if he does play, he comes off unscathed, and also that Egypt win, so he can come home early. In terms of other outs. Obviously, one of the major ones being Benrahma. Sorry, Martin. Now, we know there's a number of clubs being linked to him, and it seems that they are circling, and maybe discussions are moving forward a bit quicker. Lyon are continuing this discussions over the potential January deal. That's according to L'Equipe. Lyon themselves are going to be announcing the imminent arrival of Nigerian striker Gift Orbam, who we know very too well from playing in Europe last year. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. And they're spending 11 million quid. I think that's an absolute bargain, and we should have been all over that. Apparently, we were interested, but his preference was to go to France first. And a lot of people do that. I remember watching a documentary around, I think it was 2 transfer windows ago, and there was Luis Opienda, who was, I think at the time, was at Club Brugge, so another Belgian side. And his option was, I think there was some like Brighton and whatnot, and then there was, I think it was Lens, and he decided to move to France first before making the jump into the Premier League and so on. Obviously, he's not there quite yet, having gone somewhere else. Has he gone to Leipzig or something like that? And maybe that's going to happen with Gift as well. But despite the fact that they're going to be announcing him, they very much are continuing negotiations with Benrahma. They want several new signings to come in, particularly in the attacking sense, to refresh their whole side. Now, we know there's, it seems negotiations have accelerated. We know also Marseille are also keen on him, and indeed, apparently, both sides now have had bids rejected for side by West Ham, albeit loan with an option to buy around the £20 million mark. Now, according to Foot Mercato, they claim the Hammers are looking for around 23 million euros. So pretty much 22-ish million quid, something like 21 million quid. Personally, I think, and I've said before, if either side or both sides, hopefully, they're looking for some sort of bidding more, come back with a loan with an obligation to buy at around that figure, that would suffice for West Ham, particularly if the obligation, if the criteria is very easy, the milestones, a bit like what we've done with Tilo Kira. In essence, it's a buy now, pay later type thing. But with that, we have obviously it's contractually agreed, so to speak, so we can then potentially loan off that in the same way that we basically paid, I think it's Barclays Bank, about 1.5 million quid in the, I think Sean was saying, to get the second hit of the Declan Rice money early from Arsenal, because it was all sort of contractually agreed. I know the money's coming in, but we have, obviously it's in payment terms, but we paid a bit to get the money early. So, sort of a payday loan type thing. Obviously, there's been delays to this. I think if Jarrod Bowen wasn't injured, if Paqueta wasn't injured, I think Said wouldn't have been at West Ham now. But obviously, everything's taking its time. And the straight red on Tuesday, we should just be throwing him out the door straight away. I think they're also hoping that maybe Wolves, Brentford, Fulham, they come in for him. But then you can't play him for 3 games now, whoever he goes to. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure it works across Europe as well. So if he went to Lyon, would he be banned? I don't know. I don't know in Ligue 1 games. I don't know if it sort of carries over. Probably not, but someone will no doubt know in the comments below. We will see him. We'll see what happens, but I very much doubt we'll see Said Everett again in a West Ham shirt. And in terms of someone that I think we'll see, hopefully, where's my number? There we go. In terms of someone who I hope we will see in a West Ham shirt for many years to come, Callum Marshall obviously came on, made his debut against Bristol City. Little 10-minute cameo, did well, I thought. For didn't seem overawed. Granted, we're still pushing for the game as well, and a few nice little balls in. And he's scoring for fun for the under-20 and the PL2 side rather, and also for in the EFL trophies. Obviously, he's made his full debut as a full international for Northern Ireland. But according to David Moyes, there are literally clubs queuing up to sign him on loan. Now, he was quoted after the Bristol City defeat saying there are so many teams who want Callum on loan. We want to help him the right way. He's a great lad and a lover of football, which I like. It seems that helping Marshall in this way is the right way to go. We've seen it with Freddie Potts getting regular game time. Gideon's over at Wickham as well. And obviously West Ham have this loan committee of the likes of Kevin Keane, Kenny Brown, I think Potsy, I think Nobes is in there, I think Mark Phillips is in there as well, to assess the right options for the players' development. And it seems, for me, the time's probably come for Callum to go out on loan, get some football, get some regular first team football in the Championship, League One, whatever, probably more likely League One, I'd imagine, and come back a more rounded player. Because there's no doubt he has the skill. There's no doubt he's got the talent. But for me, it's just about the physicality side, particularly in the position he plays. Similarly, that would have been probably the trajectory for someone like Divine and Benrahma. But, at the moment, because of the lack of him not signing a new deal yet, it doesn't, it's not worth him going out there. I think there was, based on whether we see, I think also what happens tonight in terms of Kudus, also in terms of Jarrod Bowen's return from injury, how long Paqueta's out for, Antonio. If we get some good news and say by the end of the month we've got 3 of those 4 back, maybe, then I think Callum's going to be released, so to speak. I could quite easily see Callum being on the bench on Sunday, without a shadow of a doubt. But it's going to be interesting. He's, as I said, he's a very talented bloke. The under-23s play next Friday at Rush Green. So if he hasn't moved by then, he'll probably feature there. So make sure you get down there. 7:00 kickoff. I think play Stoke City. It's a good fun environment. It's proper football. It's like, you can smell the grass, you can see the grass as well, which helps. And also, you're very close to the action as well. So make sure you get down there and cheer on the boys. But yeah, let me know what you think about those 3. For me, I think sides it's just a matter of them just upping the offer and changing it from an option to a obligation. I think Callum makes perfect sense going out on loan, but just for the right club. And also about Mohamed, I think he will play, and I'm going to be behind the sofa hoping he doesn't get injured. But until then, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends, and come on, you bloody eyes. And don't forget to check out kneesupmotherbrand.com for all your latest ITK news, your latest opinion pieces, news items, all that good stuff. Take care. Bye. Bye.